Joy. I'm going to demo an app which uses Google's media translation API developed using Google's machine learning platform and conversational AI offerings. API essentially does real-time translation of streaming audio, be it language spoken by a person in front of a microphone, or it could be audio files applied to the app. So the use cases could be real-time translation of conversations between two persons speaking in totally different languages, or it could also be used to set, for example, the subtitles on a movie for any preferred language used for an user watching the movie. Or the same principle can apply to any video, for example, YouTube videos or content created in one language by a user. And we can use this app to listen to that content and real time do the translation for to the preferred language of the user who is watching the video. And there will be various other use cases emerging for this technology as the real-time conversational translation can be very useful for businesses in chatbot and contact center kind of scenarios also. Uh, in order to implement this project, I created a brand new project on my Google Cloud Console called MediaTranslations, and I followed the instructions provided in the API documentation to set up my credentials to invoke the API. And it also provides some guidance on the language support. So only 12 languages supported so far in these APIs. So either of these can be the source and the destination language in the API. And I'll do a demo run of the application, and then I'll take the output text to this translation web app provided by Google to verify whether what we speak and the translated text matches, right? Um, Before we run the API, we'll just look into some prerequisites in the code. The machine on which this Node.js code will run, it needs to have socks installed. So in my case, I'm using Mac operating system and I used Homebrew to install socks command on this machine. We need to provide some configuration parameters for the audio encoding and the sample rate frequency. So this has been provided here as sample values. Linear 16 is the encoding type, and then 16,000 hertz is the sample frequency. And the source and target languages I'm using is English as the source language that I will speak into the microphone that will be captured by the app. And then the app will translate it into my target language, which I specified as Hindi. And the source and target I can keep changing to any of the 12 supported languages so far provided by Google. The code also needs some dependencies that you need to include in the package.json file. So one is the Google Cloud's media translation package, and the other is the Node Record LPCM, which basically records the speech spoken in front of the microphone on this computer and supplies it to the app. With this, let's do a demo run of the app and see how the translation API works. So what the app will do is once I hit any button on my keyboard, it will ask me to start speaking, and I'll speak a sentence in English, and the app will start translating it real time in Hindi and show the output on the console or the standard out here. So I'm just going to start running it. Hello, this is a demo of the Google's Media Translation API. Okay, now I have stopped speaking and it throws out a sentence called final translation because it keeps waiting for intervals or pauses in my speech, and after at a logical point it will throw out a final translation, right? And it's running in a loop, so if I hit any button again and I don't pause, I keep speaking, it will keep on translating much bigger paragraphs of text that I speak. So right now, first thing I'm going to do is to take the translated Hindi text here, and I'm going to verify what I spoke in English kind of matches what the translated text is shown here. So, so what it's saying is this is a demo of the Google's media translation. I said API, it says IPF, but more or less it matches the same thing. So I'm going to try another sentence and see how accurately it works again. Hello, today is a beautiful day of spring. It's very sunny and the birds are chirping. I'm going to copy and test if everything matches. Yeah, it worked pretty beautifully. So all the things I said in English has been captured in Hindi and quite accurately. And similarly, I can keep changing the uh, target text from Hindi to any supported language. So if I specify German, for example, as my uh, target language, I just need to look into the code for German here, the BCP47 code, and this is DE. I'll just copy that and replace Hindi with German. Right. Now let's run the app again and see how well it does with English to German translation. Hello, this is Sujoy. It's a beautiful day of spring here in Kolkata, India, and the birds are chirping. So I take the German text and go for my verification screen. Yeah, it's pretty much accurate to what I said. So we have the app translating real words that I'm speaking into the computer microphone into Hindi and German quite accurately, which is quite amazing, really. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching and give it a shot on your own. It's pretty easy to develop this code and try out. Thank you so much.